This year's worthy recipient is Jake Herbert from Wadsworth High School. Jake worked hard to battle scoliosis, a painful back condition. He had one of the most productive seasons a Wadsworth defensive player has ever had, earning first-team all-conference honors in 2018. He set a new school record for interceptions in a single season. He broke a record that had previously stood for 39 years, tallying 10 interceptions in 12 games. Here to introduce this year's Inspiration Award recipient is the head football coach at Wadsworth High School, Justin Todd.
Good evening. I also would like to echo everybody else's sentiments. Just really congratulations to all the honorees tonight. Incredible accomplishments, and there's a couple guys that echoed that the future's really bright, and that's exciting. So I took over at Wadsworth in the spring of 2016, and my first interaction with Jake was pleasant because he's a kind young man and hardworking. But as he entered into our strength and conditioning program, Jake's parents requested a meeting, which wasn't all that abnormal. I had met with a lot of parents, but they came in and it was about Jake's health. And the initial conversation was really shocking. I had never dealt with anything like that. They indicated to me that I was going to have a sophomore player that had such severe scoliosis that every 6 months he had to go back in for an evaluation. And every 6 months his football life or athletic life was on the line. It was, yes, you can play, or no, you cannot, based on whether the scoliosis had become more severe. So that was, needless to say, shocking. And the first year that I was there and Jake was a sophomore, every time I would witness him make contact with another player, I started to cringe a little bit, just wondering, well, what if? And it was something that was always in the back of our mind and something that we talked about as a staff. And then I kind of reflected after that year and I thought, boy, if I'm feeling this way, how are Jake's parents feeling? But more important, how's Jake feeling? And needless to say, through that all, I had never witnessed a young man with more determination, with more effort, with more heart. And he's going to tell more about that part of that side of it. But what I can say is that Jake Herbert is an early acceptance at Akron. He's going to be a biomedical engineer. He's got these great dreams of continuing into that program and changing people's lives. Jake, as a junior, started at corner for us. Led our team to an undefeated season and a couple rounds in the playoffs. And then as he came back as a senior, because of his intelligence level, we moved him to free safety. And he was really the quarterback of our defense. He was constantly texting and calling and watching tape with our defensive back coaches. And what was unique is, I'd be on there on the sideline, and Jake he'd be yelling out the other team's plays. Incredibly intelligent. And in 13 games, he set a 39-year-old school record with 10 interceptions. And to overcome what he has physically is absolutely amazing. But the more that I got to know Jake, and this is unique, and a lot of the coaches have spoken to this tonight, what is phenomenal and probably the most rewarding thing as a coach is when you have that player that you can say, that guy's changed my life. He's absolutely changed the way that I approach every single day. If I've got an ache or a pain, I feel a lot better about it when I think about everything that Jake has went through and the sacrifice that he made for his brothers on the football field, the sacrifice that he made. A lot of people would have just given up. And Jake continued to persevere, and he did it from the guy to his left and to his right. And as you guys know, that's what makes football so great. This summer, Jake's going to have a surgery to correct his scoliosis. And not to get too detailed in it, but it's going to be a pretty extensive surgery. Jake's about 5'10", and had he not had the scoliosis, he'd be 6'1". And what's going to happen is they're going to place a couple rods in his back. They're going to, it's going to involve about 12 different vertebrae. And when you think about that and the seriousness of this injury and this surgery, and the fact that this young man played football and wrestled his entire high school career, and he set a school record for interceptions, is nothing short of remarkable. And you can understand why this young man has changed my life. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce the man of the hour, Jake Herbert.
playing football with my back. And ultimately what it came down to is the threat of losing football is always there for me. Every 6 months I'd go to that surgeon, and if my back got 5 degrees or more worse, it was done. Same with wrestling, and with that always kind of being there, you know, how your head goes straight to the worst thing. This could be my last practice, this could be my last game, this could be my last camp. So with that always in the back of my head, I played it like every play was my last play. And yeah, there was a lot of hard times going to that doctor. I remember one time my junior year during 2 days, after practice I had to go. And that entire practice, all I could think about was, this is my back's sore, this is my last practice. And the defensive back coach was like, you know, you get beat every time, like, not every time, but you get beat, you win some, you lose some, shake it off. But there was always a lot more going on in the back of my head. And you know, I played corner and free safety, that's kind of a leadership position, so I couldn't show weakness there. If I showed what I was worried about, my teammates, you know, they'd get in their own heads, so I had to hide that from everybody. And I'd really like to thank my coaches, teammates, and family for helping me deal with all that, because without them, I don't think I could have been able to do what I did.